English from Australia, pelajaran nomor 65. Hello listeners, hari ini kita akan mendengar sebuah cerita. Isi cerita ini bukanlah kejadian yang sungguh-sungguh, tetapi dapat terjadi di Australia. Seperti saudara ketahui, banyak orang Australia suka sekali pada olahraga. Mereka senang berolahraga dan juga menonton pertandingan-pertandingan olahraga. Dalam pelajaran hari ini, kita akan mendengar kisah tentang suatu keluarga Australia. John dan Mary Baxter tinggal di sebuah kota kecil yang bernama Newell di pedalaman negara bagian Victoria. Barbara, anak perempuan mereka yang berusia 13 tahun, belajar di sekolah menengah setempat. Coba dengarkan apa yang dikatakan Barbara ketika pada suatu hari ia pulang dengan tergesa-gesa dari sekolah.
Where are you?
I'm in the kitchen.
Mum, I won.
What? What did you win?
I won a race. I won the 100 metres.
Oh, very nice, dear. Now come out to the kitchen and have a glass of milk and a biscuit.
I don't think you understand, Mum.
Oh, yes, I do. You've won a race.
I won a race. I've never been interested in running before. I've always played tennis. Well, today I ran in a race and I won.
Yes, dear. Now, what about your homework?
Mum, you still don't understand. I'm only 13 and I ran in a race for 15-year-olds and I won.
Oh, I see. That is exciting. I didn't know you were good at running.
I didn't either. And Mr. Hayes said...
Who's Mr. Hayes?
He's the sports master. He said I could run again next week. And he said he'd never seen anyone my age run so fast. And he said...
Calm down, Barbara. Drink your milk.
Yes, but Mum, Mr. Hayes said that I...
Beberapa saat kemudian, Mary Baxter menyampaikan berita tersebut kepada suaminya.
And Mr. Hayes said he'd never seen anyone run so fast.
Really? That's a surprise. Let's celebrate.
Oh, John, after all, she's only won a race.
Pada malam harinya, ketika Mary dan John Baxter sedang menonton televisi, mereka mendengar orang mengetuk pintu muka.
Just a minute. I'm coming.
Good evening. I'm Jim Hayes.
Yes?
I'm the sports master from Barbara's school.
Oh, good evening. Come in. Mary, this is Jim Hayes, Barbara's sports master.
Oh, how do you do?
Pleased to meet you, Mrs. Baxter.
Sit down. We were watching something on TV, but it wasn't very good. I'm glad to turn it off, as a matter of fact.
I suppose Barbara told you about this afternoon?
Yes, she did. She told me she'd won a race.
It was fantastic. She'd never run a race before, and she was running with older girls.
She was very excited about it.
I'm very excited about it too. Barbara's a very fast runner. I think she probably broke a record.
Well, it's good of you to come and tell us about it. Of course, we're proud of her.
I think she's going to be a great runner.
But she's only won one race so far.
Yes, I know, but she's very good. I want her to run again next week, and I want you and Mr. Baxter to come along to the school to watch her.
Can we do that?
I've already asked the headmaster, and he says it's okay. Don't tell Barbara you're coming, because she'll be nervous.
Oh, I see. It's a secret then.
That's right. Of course, after the race you can speak to her, and she'll be very pleased because you're going to see her win. Barbara's going to be a champion. And I'd like to speak to you both after the race too. I want to discuss a lot of things. Well, I must go now. I'll see you next Wednesday, about 2:00.
Thanks for asking us. Thank you.
Yes, thanks, Jim. Good night.
Good night, Jim.
Good night.
Thank you very much. Well, what do you think about that?
He seems very sure Barbara's going to be a champion. But, John, what did he mean? He said there'd be a lot of things to discuss. What did he mean?
I don't know. But we'll find out next week, won't we?
Barbara sedang makan pagi bersama orang tuanya. Untuk kedua kalinya, dia akan ikut dalam lomba lari di sekolahnya nanti siang. Orang tuanya akan menonton, tetapi dia tidak tahu akan hal ini.
More toast, Barbara.
Oh, no thanks, Mum. I must go now. I don't want to be late today. I'm going to race again today, remember?
Of course we remember. Good luck.
Thanks, Dad. OK, I'll see you after school then.
Goodbye, dear.
Bye.
I don't like having a secret from Barbara. I wanted to tell her we're going to see her run this afternoon.
She won't be upset. She'll be too excited when she wins the race.
Everyone seems sure she's going to win.
I'm sure. She's been training a lot this week.
But she hasn't been spending so much time on her homework.
Oh, well, when she wins this race today, she'll forget about running. She'll spend more time on her homework then.
Or perhaps she'll spend less time.
Saudara pendengar, Mary dan John Baxter telah tiba di sekolah Barbara. Dan saat ini mereka sedang berjalan menuju ke lapangan olahraga bersama kepala sekolah Mr. Carson.
I'm pleased you've come today, Mrs. Baxter. I didn't see Barbara run last week, but I heard she was very good.
We were very surprised, Mr. Carson. We didn't know Barbara was a fast runner.
No one knew. Let's sit down over here in the shade. Barbara won't see us.
Oh, I think I can see her. Over there? Is that Barbara?
Yes, I think it is.
Yes, that's her. They're going to start the race in a minute.
OK, kids. Are you ready? On your mark. Get set.
Good heavens! Look at Barbara. She's a long way in front of the others.
She's won! She's won! She's done it again!
Look, the other girls haven't finished yet.
Now I know why Jim Hayes was so excited last week. Barbara is a marvellous runner. Now, I'd like you all to have afternoon tea with me. I've asked Jim Hayes to join us. Come in. It's you, Barbara.
Mum, Dad, what are you doing here?
We've been watching you run.
Have you? Oh, I'm glad I didn't know you were watching.
We're very proud of you.
Congratulations, Barbara. Here's Jim. You've met Jim, haven't you?
Oh, hello, Jim. No.
Hello again. Great, Barbara. Congratulations.
Now, Mrs. Baxter, would you like a cup of tea?
Oh, I'd love one, thanks.
Oh, thanks very much, Mr. Carson.
Jim wants to talk to you both about Barbara's future.
Well, her future... Well, she'll finish school, of course, and then John wants her to work in the shop with him.
Barbara wants to work in the shop. Don't you, dear?
Yes, I do. I'm going to study accountancy. Then I can help Dad with the business.
I think your future's going to be different, Barbara.
Oh? What do you mean?
Mr. Hayes and I think you're going to be a great runner. A very great runner.
Do you?
Dengan demikian, rencana bagi masa depan Barbara ditetapkan.
She must go to bed early every night.
And we want her to have plenty of exercise.
She wants new running shoes.
And she must have special food.
And a lot of training.
Not so much time for boys.
She won't have much time to study.
Jim will be her special coach.
Yes, I'll be her special coach.
She's going to be a great runner.
She's going to be the best runner in Australia.
Barbara mulai berlatih dengan Jim Hayes sebagai pelatihnya. Setiap hari, dia harus bangun pagi-pagi dan pergi ke sekolah untuk latihan lari dan melakukan latihan lainnya. Sesudah sekolah bubar, dia berlatih lagi. Dan dia terus memenangkan perlombaan-perlombaan lari.
Ready? On your mark. Get set.
She's won again. Gosh, she's good.
She's going in the inter-school sports next week, you know. She's going to Melbourne with the team.
You're late, Barbara.
Yes, Mum, I know. I've been doing some extra training with Mr. Hayes.
Well, I'd like you to do your homework before dinner.
Oh, Mum, I can't. I want to do some more exercises and
You aren't getting very good marks at school. You spend all your time running and
But the inter-school sports are next Saturday. After that, I'll study harder.
Yes, and then there'll be other races and other sports.
I'll work hard after next Saturday. The inter-school sports are very important, and Mr. Hayes said that
Saudara pendengar, hari pesta olahraga antar sekolah di Melbourne telah tiba. Barbara telah berangkat ke Melbourne bersama Jim Hayes dan anggota tim yang lain. Saat ini, Mary dan John Baxter sedang mengikuti siaran pandangan mata pertandingan olahraga tersebut.
Welcome to the Melbourne Sports Ground on a very sunny day here for the
It's terrific, isn't it?
I feel quite nervous. I think Barbara is running in the next race.
In a time of 16.2 seconds. The next race is the 100 metres for girls. The girls are getting on their marks now. Barbara Baxter from Newell High School is going to run in this race. We've heard a lot about her lately, and I think you're going to see a great race today.
He mentioned Barbara.
Barbara's off to a good start. She's leading. She's a long way in front of the others. She's going to win. No? What's happened? She's fallen over. Now Pat Stevens is leading. Barbara is on her feet again, but she can't win now. Pat Stevens is the winner. She's from Blackheath High School. It's a school not often associated with athletics.
Barbara terjatuh dan peserta lain memenangkan lomba lari tersebut. Tentu saja dia merasa sangat kecewa. Saat ini, dia sudah berada kembali di rumah dan sedang menceritakan pengalamannya kepada orang tuanya.
It was awful. I don't know why I fell.
Anyway, you didn't hurt yourself.
No, but you see, Mr. Hayes said I could go in the interstate sports, and now...
I'm sure he'll want you to go in them. It doesn't matter. Losing a race doesn't matter.
Yes, it does. Losing a race does matter. I always win. This is the first race I've lost.
Perhaps it's a good thing.
No, it isn't. I must always win. Everyone says I'm a champion. And by the way, Mum, I want a pair of running shoes and some sports.
Saudara pendengar, berikut ini dua orang pelajar di sekolah Barbara sedang membicarakan lomba lari tadi.
Did you hear about the race?
Yes, I listened to it on the radio. Poor Barbara.
Perhaps she won't be so conceited now.
I don't think she's conceited.
Well, I do. She wins all her races and she's always talking to Mr. Hayes about running. She doesn't want to do anything else. She wants to run all the time. I asked her to my birthday party, but she said she was too busy to come. I'm glad she lost the race.
Dua tahun telah berlalu, dan umur Barbara sudah hampir 16 tahun. Dia masih terus menang dalam lomba lari, tetapi sekarang dia lebih giat belajar dan angka-angkanya bertambah baik. Berikut ini orang tua Barbara sedang berbicara tentang apa yang telah terjadi selama 2 tahun terakhir. Coba dengarkan.
Would you like another cup of tea, John?
No, thanks. By the way, I heard Barbara won her race at school today.
That isn't news. She always wins.
Yes. You know, I think it was a good thing when she lost that race in the inter-school sports 2 years ago. She was getting a bit conceited.
Oh, I'd forgotten about that. Yes, perhaps you're right. She was getting a bit spoiled and conceited before she lost that race. She's been getting better marks at school since then, too.
Yes, and when she won the race in the next year's inter-school sports, it was great, wasn't it?
Yes. And remember when she won the interstate sports?
Oh, that was marvellous, because there were a lot of good runners from the other states.
Jim Hayes was right. She's a champion.
Hi. Any tea in the pot?
I'll make some more. This is cold.
No, don't bother, Mum. I've got some news.
I've already heard. You won the race this afternoon.
No, that isn't the news.
Well, what is it?
Mr. Carson called me into his study after the race, and he said...
Well, Barbara, congratulations again.
Thank you, Mr. Carson.
I talked to the mayor today. You know Mr. Richards, don't you?
Oh, Dad knows him. I don't think I've ever met him.
You're going to meet him soon, because he wants the town to send you to the Pacific Games next year.
He wants the town to send me to the Pacific Games.
That's right. He said he'd been following your career for 2 years. It costs a lot to go to the games. The school hasn't got enough money.
And Mum and Dad certainly haven't got enough either.
So, Mr. Richards is going to ask the local council about it at the next meeting. He thinks a lot of people will want to help, to give money. You're quite famous in this town, you know. And I'm glad to say you're very popular too.
And he said I was quite famous in the town. And he said I was popular too.
It's very interesting news, isn't it? But we mustn't get too excited about it. First, we have to get a lot of money. Oh, by the way, what does Jim Hayes think about this?
He's very excited. He said he discovered me.
Well, that's true. And he's also helped you a lot, hasn't he?
Saudara pendengar, sekarang kita akan pergi ke rapat kota praja setempat. Mereka mengadakan rapat sekali 2 minggu untuk membicarakan hal-hal yang berkenaan dengan kota itu, dengan wali kota sebagai ketuanya. Saat ini, dia sedang memimpin rapat seperti itu, yang dapat dihadiri juga oleh anggota masyarakat. Dan tentu saja keluarga Baxter datang untuk ikut mendengarkan pembicaraan tersebut.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm sure you'll agree with me. We all want Barbara Baxter to go to the next Pacific Games. She's a wonderful runner and a wonderful girl. Now we must discuss how to get the money to send Barbara to the Games. And, of course, her coach, Jim Hayes, and her mother, too.
Gosh, I didn't know about that.
I think we can raise the money. We'll have parties and barbecues and so on. Mr. Carson said the school would help us to raise some of the money. Now, I'd like someone to propose a motion.
Bagaimanakah pendapat pelajar-pelajar lain di sekolah Barbara tentang rencana tadi? Mari kita dengarkan.
What do you think about Barbara?
I think it's great. I didn't like Barbara a few years ago. I thought she was getting conceited. But after she fell in that race and lost the race, she wasn't so conceited, was she?
Right. I like Barbara. She's a marvellous runner. I'm going to help raise some money to send her to the games.
Kota kecil itu sekarang diliputi suasana sibuk bercampur gembira. Masyarakatnya mengumpulkan dana untuk mengirim Barbara ke Pacific Games dengan mengadakan pesta, barbecue, dan perlombaan-perlombaan. Sekolah Barbara mengadakan hari olahraga khusus supaya semua orang dapat melihat Barbara bertanding. Dan tentu saja semua merasa gembira apabila Barbara memenangkan semua perlombaan yang diikutinya. Di Australia, hal seperti ini mudah terjadi. Seringkali segenap warga kota atau warga bagian kota besar mensponsori seorang atlet pria atau wanita dan mencarikan dana untuk memajukan karier orang tersebut. Semua penduduk kota Newell merasa bangga akan Barbara dan ingin membantunya. Mereka beranggapan bahwa dia telah membuat kota tersebut terkenal. Seluruh penduduk kota ini berbicara tentang Barbara dan tentang usaha yang dilaksanakan untuk mengirimnya ke Pacific Games. Sekarang, coba dengarkan percakapan antara dua orang wanita ketika mereka bertemu di jalan.
Hello, Mrs. Brown. I haven't seen you for a couple of weeks. How are you?
I'm fine, thanks. As a matter of fact, I've been staying in Melbourne with my daughter. I love Melbourne, but it's good to be back.
I suppose you've heard the news about Barbara?
Yes, I have. As a matter of fact, I read all about her in the Melbourne papers. Everyone there is very interested in her.
Really?
Well, yes. She's the only person going to the games from Victoria, you know.
Oh, I didn't know that. We're very lucky to have Barbara in Newell. And we've almost got enough money to send her to the games. We've had lots of parties and barbecues and competitions to get money for her. And we all saw her run one day at the school. She's fantastic. I've never seen anyone run so fast. Oh, it's marvellous for the school and for the town.
Ya, semua orang berbicara tentang Barbara dan membantu mengusahakan dana untuk mengirimnya ke Pacific Games. Dan sementara itu, Barbara sedang mencurahkan seluruh waktunya untuk berlatih. Tetapi karena saat ini sekolah sedang libur, maka pelajarannya tidak terpengaruh. Mari kita temui Barbara lagi pada pesta perpisahan yang diadakan untuknya. Saat ini dia berada di kamarnya bersiap-siap untuk berangkat ke pesta dan ibunya sedang berbicara kepadanya.
Gosh, I'm nervous. This is worse than a race.
Everything will be all right, I'm sure.
Do you think they'll want me to make a speech?
Yes, I think they will. Just thank everyone for what they've done. You look very nice. We must leave soon. The mayor wants you to be there early.
Saudara pendengar, pesta perpisahan itu merupakan sukses besar. Pesta itu diadakan di Taman Kota Newell supaya segenap penduduknya dapat hadir, dan memang mereka semua datang. Dan alangkah gembiranya mereka. Mereka berdansa dan bernyanyi, dan tentu saja juga menikmati makanan yang cukup banyak. Selama pesta tersebut juga diberikan beberapa sambutan, dan yang pertama dari Bapak Wali Kota. Mari kita dengarkan bagian penutup dari pidatonya.
And so, ladies and gentlemen, I think we can all be proud. We're proud of Barbara. We're proud because we've raised the money to send her to the games. Barbara belongs to this town, and we all love her. She's the best runner here in Newell. She's the best runner in Victoria. I think she's the best runner in Australia. Hey! And so, Barbara, good luck from all of us.
Thank you, Mr. Richards. Oh, thank you, everyone. I'm very, very grateful to you all. I want to thank my parents, too. They've been very good to me. And Mr. Hayes, he's the best coach in the world. I want to tell him this. I'm going to run as fast as I can, and
you're going to win!
Yes!
You're going to win!
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Saudara pendengar, sebenarnya cerita ini belum selesai sampai di sini saja. Barbara pergi ke Pacific Games beserta ibunya dan Jim Hayes. Dia mengambil bagian dalam 2 perlombaan dan memenangkan keduanya dengan memecahkan rekor untuk lari 100 meter. Mereka pergi selama 2 minggu saja, dan ketika mereka kembali, diadakan pawai besar-besaran di sepanjang jalan-jalan di kota Newell. Barbara, ibunya, dan Jim Hayes ikut serta dalam satu mobil. Coba dengarkan.
Well, Barbara, it seems a long time ago, doesn't it? Do you remember the day you came home from school? The day you won your first race?
Yes, I remember. You weren't very interested. You offered me a glass of milk and a biscuit.
Yes, I remember. Well, soon you'll go back to school and you'll work hard and pass your exams.
Mum, I can't think of things like that today. Listen to the crowd.
Anyway, Mrs. Baxter, I want Barbara to continue her training. The Olympic Games are in 2 years' time. I'm sure Barbara will get in the team.
Dan dengan ini pula kami minta diri. Kami harap saudara-saudara telah menikmati cerita tadi tentang seorang atlet yang membuat sebuah kota kecil di negara bagian Victoria terkenal. Jangan lupa mempelajari bagian pertama dari pelajaran berikutnya, yakni nomor 66, sebelum siaran yang akan datang. Dan sekarang saya ucapkan goodbye listeners.